Hello, my name is B. How can I describe B? B is fun-loving Christian who loves to travel, to see the world. My hobbies are reading books. I read all kinds of books, Christian books, romantic books, books on crime. I love to eat. I can't specifically say I have a favorite food. I think I'm just a lover of food in general. So I can't specifically say I'm a lover of food and here's my story. So sometime back when I was in uni, I think when I was in my second year, I met somebody. At first, when I was in my second year in uni, I was dating somebody else. So we were just talking. I think I'd reacted to his story on Facebook and he sent me a text and we started talking. We're in the same school, so he asked if we could meet, but then it took a bit of some time for us to link up because I had somebody who I was seeing at the time. So time went by and I broke up with the person that I was with, and me and the other guy still kept in touch. Like we used to talk. I would call him S in this situation. I call him S. So me and S just used to talk while I was dating the other guy. And then after some time, me and the other guy broke up. So after we broke up, me and S continued talking. We continued having conversations, and eventually we decided to link up because our conversations became really intense and everything. So we started talking about everything and anything, talk all the time and every time and calling each other, until one day he decided we were together. I said no, we were not together. That is not how I was. So he had to ask me out personally. So that's how he invited me on a date. We went on a date and he asked me out formally, and that's how we began dating. At the beginning it was really nice. He was very thoughtful, very caring. He would always have all sorts of things we had to do. He would say, oh no, I saw a nice place, I think you would love it. Or I saw nice food, I think you would like it. So there were all sorts of things that we would do together. We would talk on the phone all the time. He would always text me good morning, always. So that is how we started dating. So months into the dating, the relationship was great. We were friendly, everything was going great, like really nice. And my problems in my relationship began in November, because we started dating in April. So in November of the year we started dating was his graduation. So on his graduation night, we spent the night together. And I think previously he had come before then we had a misunderstanding because his way of thinking and my way of thinking never really used to go together. So we had a misunderstanding, and he had come when he was doing the clearance at school, and he sorted it out because he had finished before me. He was my senior. So we sorted it out, and afterwards everything was okay. Then the night before his graduation he came. So he had this female friend of his who I was not comfortable with. Initially he was not okay with some of my male friends because eventually he thought, I don't know what he thought, something might transpire between us. So he was not comfortable with my male friends, and I told him, if you're not going to be comfortable with my male friends, then I was not going to be comfortable with his female friends. So that particular female friend who I was not very comfortable with came to school. She said she came to see her cousin, but I think she came for his graduation. I don't even know why he didn't tell me that. So when she came, she called him to come and pick her up at the roadside because it was a bit far from where the campus was. And I told him, no, you're not going to go and pick her up, because she said she didn't come to see you. She came to see her cousin and help her out with her research. So if she came for the cousin, she should either pick a cab or call the cousin to go and pick her up. So he called her and told her, no, my girlfriend says, I don't want to pick you up. She doesn't want me to pick you up. So that's how he didn't go and pick up. We hung out together for some time, and then after I think a few hours, he sent me back to my room because I was sleeping in the school lodge and I was sleeping in my room. So he sent me back to my room, and we had agreed that he he was gonna come and pick me up at 22, and we were going to spend the night together in his room. So we were going to sleep in his room initially. So that's how he took me back to my room. I went. He was in a hurry to leave me, which he rarely does, which he never used to do. So he took me back to my room, and I, being a good girlfriend, started getting ready, started putting things in order for him for his graduation. So he had left his shirt, I ironed his shirt, cleaned it up and everything, and I sat there waiting for my boyfriend to come. So it was 22, he didn't show up. So I called. I'm like, are you still coming to pick me up? I wanted to find out if he was still coming to pick me up. He didn't answer the phone. So I called 22, he didn't come. 23, he didn't pick up. I think I kept calling throughout the night. I barely slept that night. I kept calling throughout the night, but he never picked up my calls up until in the morning at 6 when he called me and told me, I only just saw your calls. And I had put my phone on silent. So I was like, why would you put your phone on silent when you know you were supposed to come and pick me up? So, it was the day of his graduation, so I didn't want to mess the whole day up by arguing with him. So the only thing I decided to do was get myself clean. I got dressed, did my makeup, and I attended the graduation. I was there on time. So the graduation was over. He went back with his parents. They went back home, and our relationship proceeded after that. Afterwards, I asked him about the night. I'm like, what happened? Why didn't you pick me up? Like, what happened? Why did you put your phone on silent? He was like, I'm sorry, I went out with my friends, my phone was on silent, what. I think my issues of trust began then, because mostly the only time when he would put his phone on silent was when he was with me. And even with me, wasn't that like, it was when we go out to eat or anything like that. No, it was usually when we go out and have when we go out maybe to a lodge and we decide, okay, today we're going to a lodge, just when his phones will be off. And me and him had a sexual relationship. So sometimes I would struggle with that because I was a Christian and I grew up in a home where I was taught sex before marriage is a sin. Sometimes I would struggle with the thought of actually, like, I keep doing this and this is a sin and I'm supposed to do this and this is like a big sin. So most of the times we'd argue about that. We would like have miscommunication over the issues, and that was the only time when his phones would be off and on silent. But that day his phone was off, it was on silent, and he wasn't picking up the whole night, and there was a suspicious girl in the area. So I decided to push it forward, but then he kept saying I wasn't letting it go, I was supposed to let it go. So our problems began then. After that, I decided for some time to let it go, because eventually it was beginning to become a big fight. So afterwards, we sorted that out. He came to school to pick up his certificate, and then when he came, he lost his grandfather. So after staying for a little bit, he went back he went back home because the mom had called that his grandfather had died. So when he went back home, where he went, there was no network, there was no electricity, it was a village, so our communication became a bit slowed and everything. I was understanding, because eventually I realized he was in a place where there was no network and no place to charge his phone, so whenever he could, would actually speak. But then after he came back from the same place, the system of not texting me good morning, texting me good night, or checking up on me became too much. Even like during the day, I would sometimes try to make calls, sometimes try to call him. It would always be really hard, and every time I would complain, he'd tell me, hey, I'm used. But then the catch was him, my best friend at the time, and his friend used to talk. So sometimes he would call the friend and ask him like, what happened? Like last night, he would complain, last night I didn't sleep early because I was on the phone till late speaking to S. But then when I would speak to him, he'd tell me, oh no, I go to bed, I get up. I remember after a few days, I realized he wasn't going to call me, and I asked him, like, are you really seriously breaking up with me? He was like, yes, I'm really breaking up with you. I broke down that night. I cried so much, my eyes were swollen. I couldn't even feel my eyes when I woke up the following day. It was a terrible mess. I called his friend, asked him, like, please talk to your friend, we can't break up like this. it's really hard. Like, this is not the reason why we can break up. Like, I don't want to break up. Please, let's not break up. I don't want to do this. He refused. He was like, he told his friend was like, I don't know what to do. I've talked to him, but it seemed like this is fine. So for me, I thought maybe after some days, he was going to talk to me, and we're approaching our anniversary, our first year anniversary. I think it was a week before anniversary. I stayed there really waiting for him to see something or for us to talk about it. He was just adamant. He told me we're not going to get together. What happened after my breakup? I developed a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, because my breakup came at a time when we were having financial problems at home and had stress at school because of research. And now he also added to the stress by breaking up with me. It felt like, you know how you have a rug has just been pulled out under your feet and then you remain on the court floor. So I went into mild anxiety. I had so much stress to the point where I had to go to the clinic and they gave me medicine to deal with my stress. So I tried, begging him, asking him to stay. Like, let's try and work this out. Maybe there's a way we can work it out. What do you want me to do? I should come and see you so that we talk about this in person. He said, no, I don't want to see you, because if I see you, my resolve is going to break. I'm like, but we started dating when we were together. Like, when we started dating in person, we should also break up in person. He was like, no, we can't. I told him, okay, I'm going to do anything to keep you, even if it means just being friends with benefits. I don't mind. I was like, okay, fine, if that's what you want, then we can be friends with benefits. We kept at it until the year passed, and it was time for me to actually move and go to school abroad where I was going. So I went to school abroad, and I kept talking to him even while I was there. I was busy telling him how I was settling in, how I was working around, getting used to the workplace and everything. But then with time, I decided I didn't want to be depressed anymore. I didn't want to lose weight anymore. I didn't want to stay in that bubble anymore. I didn't want to be stressed anymore. It was just taking too much of my energy. It was taking too much of myself. It was taking too much of my self-esteem, because I thought because of that I would never be loved. I thought maybe I was lucky. Maybe there's something wrong with me. There's something wrong with my body. I began to believe that there was actually something wrong with me, and I was just letting the sadness really get to me and just shut me down and close me down from people that I loved. And I didn't really tell anyone what I was going through. So after I went where I went, I met another friend, and then she introduced me to a bunch of YouTubers that were Christian based and everything. So I decided, let me try something else, something different. So while we're there, he'd still video call me, he'd still do everything. So I decided I was not going to do this anymore. So I asked him, like, before a new year began, I asked him, I was like, for the very last time, do you still not want to get back together? He said no. I said, okay, fine. Then I made a resolution. So in the coming year, I made a resolution to say I was going to work on everything that we had been through. I was going to work on getting better and picking myself up. During the time that I was going through the breakup, I had a lot of emotional support from my best friend. My family don't usually talk about boys, so I never really went to them for any sort of comfort, but I told my sister about it. She didn't really know the extent of how heartbroken I was or what I was really going through, but the person that was really there for me was my best friend, because she was the one that I used to tell truthfully what I was going through, and had a couple of friends. I go on 10 days prayers. I pray for myself. I discovered I love to travel, so it's because of this, what's been going on, I haven't been able to travel, but I go out sometimes. Maybe it's to eat, or I talk to my best friend about how I'm feeling. Usually that's what I do. I just have think positive thoughts. I affirm. I write down how I'm feeling. That's what really helps me. I affirm, and on days when I feel really, really bad, I accept how I'm feeling, and I tell myself to like stay away from him. It's not healthy to always go back. And yeah, that's usually what treatment helps me. I don't really have medicine that helps me. It's just mostly just talk to my best friend about it. I pray about it. I journal about it. That's what really has helped me cope, and that's what is. I would give to anyone going through this is that you're not alone. Speak to someone. Speak to your friend, your best friend. As long as if you have a best friend that cannot judge you, speak to them. But if you can't, get a book. Write about how you feel. That book cannot just be like a diary where you write down how you feel alone. No, you can always write down your prayers. Speak to God about it. Not like trying to hide my sin. Like, tell God, this is what I have done, and this is what is going on in my life right now. I want you to come into my life and give me strength to overcome this, because God, you can never give me God can never give you a load you cannot carry. There's nothing that has come to you that he has not overcome. So trust in him if you believe in praying. But if you don't believe in praying, you can always meditate, write down how you feel. If you can see a therapist, all the hurt actually goes away, and accept that you actually love that person, and maybe you will always love them, but you don't belong. They just don't belong in your life. I got my closure. I think 2 years later I got my closure. I called him, we talked about it, and now we're in a better place where we're cool. And in that conversation that I had with him, there was honesty. I had told him how I felt, how really our breakup had affected me, what really happened, what really transpired with me. And then I also admitted to say, my emotional part has healed over everything that you did. The emotional part has healed, but there's still the physical part that I am dealing with. And when I realized that when I accepted the fact that I had this physical connection with him, and it was really strong, I knew what I had to work on. So when you actually speak truth to yourself, when you tell yourself the truth, you know inwardly what you need to start working on, instead of sugarcoating it, making it look like you're strong, trying to lie to yourself to say, no, I'm strong, I've gotten over this. No. Just speak the truth to yourself. And once you start speaking the truth to yourself, you actually know what areas in your life need working on. And when you're in a relationship and you've broken up with somebody and the hurt is still very fresh, finding somebody else is never the solution. I have come to realize that being single is not bad. There's nothing wrong with being single. When you learn to love yourself, it's actually beautiful. Focus on you. Grow your hair. Find a hobby. I found a hobby. I cut my hair and started afresh, and I started keeping my hair natural, so I had something to occupy me all the time. I was always worrying about my hair. I'm still keeping my hair, still going the natural trend. So I found a hobby which I actually found I was passionate about. Find a hobby, something you're really passionate about. If it's reading, writing. If you've always wanted to write something, start writing. If you want to do YouTube. Just find something to distract you. And if you want to find a platform to share a story, do that. Whatever makes you feel better and makes the hurt go away, please do. Just don't. And I repeat, don't go back to a place that hurt you. Don't go back to a man that left you, that did not want you, because you are much more than a relationship. A relationship that makes you lose your self-esteem is not worth it. A relationship that makes you lose yourself is not worth it. There's somebody out there for you who will love you for you, compliment you, help you grow, help you be a better version of yourself.